So now let us talk about the carbon family. So the carbon family is composed of carbon, silicon, germanium, tin, lead, and the new element added is flerovium. The symbol is Fl, atomic number 114, mass 289 gram per mole, and obviously valence configuration will be matching with this group. This group has a configuration of NH2 NP2. So from the 7th period, 7s to 7p2. Carbon silicons are non-metal. As we can see, metallic character is increasing. Carbon silicons are non-metal. Germanium is a metalloid. Tin and lead are typical metals. Here, when we talk about radius top to bottom, radius increases. But carbon to silicon, there is a sudden jump in the radius. Remaining radius are not increasing as much. Talking about the ionization enthalpy here. So again, ionization enthalpy top to bottom decreases. Only one exception at the last, lead comes. See, always at the last some exception of ionization enthalpy will be there because of lanthanide contraction, but there is a slight increase from silicon to tin, slight decrease from silicon to tin in the ionization enthalpy and slight increase in lead for the ionization enthalpy. So carbon has excessively high ionization enthalpy out of all of these. Electronegativity also, carbon has maximum, silicon to tin is approximately same. In fact, lead also you can take approximately same. You don't have to remember this information, this data, just 1.8, 1.9 I have written so that you can understand why I am writing more than equal to, because approximately same as per Pauling scale value. So carbon is higher than silicon and remaining all of them have the same electronegativity. Next, melting point, boiling point of 14th group is higher than 13th group. That means carbon family, respective elements of the respective periods will have the higher melting point, boiling point than the 13th group element. In fact, melting point and boiling point both decreases down the group. Melting point, one small exception comes in tin and lead. That is not much important, but in general you can remember melting point, boiling point, both of them decrease down the group here. Next, density, very tricky question comes here. Dekho yaar, I'll discuss this in detail in the allotropes also, but diamond has higher density than graphite. Diamond is like graphite has layered structure, a lot of empty space is there, so the density of graphite is minimum. Now, if you compare carbon, graphite, silicon, germanium, tin, lead, so there is no exception, density is increasing. But if you compare diamond, carbon's diamond allotrope with silicon, germanium, tin, lead, then bhaiya silicon will have the minimum density, then diamond, and then increases as usual. So diamond has more density than graphite. In fact, diamond has more density than silicon also. Going ahead, in the catenation, extremely important question here. This came in the JEE in 2019 also. Who does not show catenation? So tendency of catenation decreases down. Carbon has excessively high. From class 9th you are learning this thing. And lead does not have the tendency to show catenation. This was the question asked in the JEE in 2019 also. Very important for the upcoming NEET exam as well. Now going ahead, top to bottom, inert pair effect we very well know. So as per the inert pair effect, I can repeat one more time here. We have configuration of NH2 NP2. So only NP electron goes, we get +2 oxidation state. So +2 is the lower one. All the electron goes, +4 is the higher one. So top to bottom, lower oxidation state stability increases, higher decreases. So up to tin, the higher will be more stable. For lead, lower will be more stable, just like for indium, thallium also. So for remaining element, +4 is more stable. But for lead, +2 is more stable. Just like in the previous group as well, because +2 is more stable, he want to become +4 here, then they are reducing agents. They want to get oxidized. Lead +4 is less stable, +2 is more stable, that means +4 want to become +2. So lead is happily going to get reduced, so he is an oxidizing agent. Now this is the list of all the oxides we have to study here. Silicon monoxide exists only at high temperature. No need to compare its acidic and basic nature. CO2, SiO2, GeO2, GeO, all of them, that means carbon, silicon, germanium, here all of them, CO2, SiO2, GeO2 and GeO also, they are acidic in nature. As we go down, SNO, SNO2, PbO, PbO2, because +2, +4, two oxidation states are there, na? That's why two different oxides are also formed. SNO, SNO2, PbO, PbO2 are amphoteric in nature. Understand CO is neutral. In fact, if you want to understand this also, CO, NO, N2O, these three are the only three neutral oxides in your course. So these are neutral. CO in this group is neutral here. CO2, out of all of this, the most non-metallic is C. So the most acidic oxide will be CO2. Direct question, which of the following oxide is most acidic? CO2 will be the answer. And as you go down, acidic nature decreases. Next, how they react with water? Very simple question here. No one reacts with water except tin. Carbon, silicon, germanium are less reactive. Lead was okay reactive, but he develops probably protective oxide layer and does not react. So only tin react, and that to react only with the water vapor to form SNO2 and hydrogen gas goes out. So very less reactivity these elements have towards water. Next, towards halogen they form EX4, simple PbF4. Similarly, they can also form EX2 as well, like PbF2, PbCl2. Carbon do not react with the halogens directly. So then how the carbon react? Arey bhaiya, you have the whole organic chemistry to study how carbon reacts. All the processes you very well know how to make alkyl halide. So that is not a job that you have to discuss here. Now, all of them are covalent except SNF4 and PbF4, which are ionic. This very important line in NCERT came in the last exam as well, in the NEET 2019. Going ahead, assertion, same again in the NCERT, one very beautiful line is there. Carbon shows allotropy. Reason, what is the reason? Because carbon has a tendency to show catenation, which is excessively high, plus carbon is second period element, and I already have discussed in the beginning of this chapter, it is written that p-pi bonding or pi bonding is best by the second period element. So carbon can show very strong p-pi bond and catenation. That's why he shows allotropy, like diamond, graphite, fluorines. Going ahead, stability, if we compare using this logic here, so for germanium, that is +4 more than +2, so GeX4 is more stable than GeX2, and for lead, PbX2 is more stable than PbX4. In fact, PbI4 does not even exist. Why? Because the PbI bond does not release enough energy to unpair the 6s2 electron of lead. This is inert pair effect only. So because the 6s2 electron will not get unpaired, so it cannot be involved in the bonding. That's why PbI4 is not formed. PbI2 is formed. So why not? Because PbI bond does not release enough energy to unpair the electron of lead 6s2. So this was about the carbon family in the beginning part. So bhaiya, will carry on regarding the allotropes in the next segment of the video. And before going there, one very important thing which is missed here is that 14 group element except carbon form complexes and they hydrolyze. Except carbon, why? Because carbon do not have vacant d orbital, he is from second period, but remaining all of them have vacant d orbital. So that's the reason that they can form complexes. Vacant d orbital is necessary. For hydrolysis, sir, what's the use of vacant d? Simple here. Carbon do not have any vacant orbital to keep the lone pair of water. So it will not be hydrolyzed. Whereas SiCl4 has vacant orbital to keep the lone pair of oxygen. That's why it will be hydrolyzed. So OH will come, Cl will go, you will get SiOH whole 4 known as silicic acid. Sir, then how can you say there are vacant orbitals there? Simple logic here. Any element of third period or later, that means all these, they will have vacant orbital. Why, sir? Atomic structure. Third shell onwards 3d comes. So all of them will have the d orbital vacant. That's why they can form complexes as well as they can get hydrolyzed. In fact, silicon can form complex like SiOH whole 6 2 minus, SiF 6 2 minus, having the hybridization of sp3d2. Simply you can find using the coordination compounds also. But very, very important question came in JEE main NEET exam 2019 also. That SiCl6 2 minus does not exist. Why? Solved example of NCERT, you can refer also. Very important question. SiCl6 2 minus does not exist. Why? Because in around one small silicon +4, 6 Cl minus will cause a lot of steric hindrance, a lot of crowding. They will kick each other, they will be unstable. Also, the lone pair of chlorine and silicon +4, they will not overlap very well. Like chlorine orbital and silicon orbital will not form a very strong pi bonding. So bhaiya, what will happen? Back bonding also is chadda, because back bonding is a pi bond, and pi bond is made best by the second period element, and none of them is second period element, so their interaction is also weak. Steric hindrance is also there. So SiCl6 2 minus does not exist. So let us now discuss the allotropes of carbon. So we very well know the allotropes of carbon are diamond, graphite, fluorine, which we have to discuss here. Before starting that, let me make one thing very clear, that top to bottom, as the size increases, the bond becomes longer. So carbon-carbon bond, silicon-silicon bond, germanium and tin-tin, the bond is becoming longer, and as you very well know by simple common sense that longer sticks are easy to break. So carbon carbon bond will be the strongest bond, the bond enthalpy is highest because it's the shortest, and tin tin bond is going to be small, largest one and easiest to break. So the bond enthalpy is going to be minimum. Allotropes of carbon, diamond. In diamond, the hybridization of all the carbons are sp3. In fact, each carbon is associated with 4 other carbons. So it's a tetrahedral structure, completely saturated. So it has a very high melting point. Why? Imagine if each person is holding the hands of 4 other people, which are holding the hands of other 4 people, which are holding the hands of other 4 people, we get a huge network-like structure. So it becomes almost impossible to melt such a big network-like structure, and hence the melting point is very high. Hence diamond is one of the hardest known substances on earth. As a result, it is used for sharpening the tool also. One more use I have written here, because what happens if you don't read this use right now, you will mix logically in the examination. So understand, for making tungsten filament for electric bulbs, diamond is used. Understand, diamond is not an insulator, is not a conductor, he is an insulator. Still he is used for making the electric light bulbs. It will not conduct the electricity there, but other uses are also there. So understand, until you read this, you might mess up the use of diamond and graphite. Chaliye, going ahead, the bond length is 154 picometer. That is a normal CC single bond. C single bond C, bond length is 154 picometer. Next, about graphite. Graphite has a layered structure. So I've tried drawing the structure here. So this is one layer, that's the other layer, and between the two layers there is a difference of 340 pm. So remember it like the time, like 140 pm and 2 hours later 340 pm. So 140 pm, that is 140 picometer nearly, is the bond length. All the bond lengths are 140 picometer. Why? Because double bond, single bond, double bond, single bond, double bond, conjugation will always be there here. In each and every case, some or the other conjugation will be going on. So what do we understand? If each and every carbon is in conjugation, that means each and every bond will be exactly equal due to conjugation. So what happens? 140 picometer is the bond length of each and every carbon-carbon bond there. Each one is sp2 hybridized, very well, because everyone is having a double bond there. Pi electrons, as you can see, are completely delocalized. So what happens because of that? So you can understand, here the pi electrons are delocalized. I can make an orbital diagram and explain that these orbitals are making a pi bond here. Similarly, this orbital is also making a pi bond here, and they are also in conjugation. So each p orbital having one unpaired electron got paired up and made a huge network of conjugation. So if I transfer electricity here, if I pass electricity here, these electrons will get drifted, and as you know in physics, when the electron drift, the current is conducted. So if I give electricity this side, I can easily get a shock on this side. So that means within this layer, graphite can conduct the electricity. But if I give electricity here and assume that this layer will also conduct the electricity, so bhaiya, it is not logical to think. Why? Because this layer has a huge gap of 340 picometer. Electrons are not going to jump from here to here. So between two layers, graphite is a bad conductor or insulator, but within the layer, graphite is a conductor. So bhaiya, such kind of property, that means within the layer and across the layer, the conductivity is different. That's why we call it anisotropic conductor. That means in different direction, we have different conduction. Isotropic means, like for example, metal. If you give electricity in the metal, you touch the top of it, you touch the bottom of it, you touch the front of it, you will get the electric shock. Don't try that. But just a logical idea. But for graphite, if you give electricity in the first layer, the second layer will not be affected by that electricity. As a result, we can say good conductor within the layer, bad conductor across the layer. So anisotropic conductor, the same word that we use in solid state also to explain such a property. A property which is different with at one and other direction, that is called anisotropic property. Going ahead, all of them are sp2 only. In case of fluorine, how to make fluorine? Graphite is heated in the electric arc in the presence of noble gases like helium, argon. You get the fluorine. The sooty flames that come out, the soots that come out, that can have C60, C70. In fact, 350 and more carbon also we can have a spherical buckyball-like structure or football-like structure. So there are no dangling bonds here. Sir, what is the meaning of this dangling bond? You can understand, in graphite, in the corner, these carbons are free to make the bond. You understand? In the corners, these carbons are free to make the bond. What does it mean? या देखो फाइनली whosoever will be the last carbon, he is the last carbon na, so he will be free to make the bond somewhere here, and by mistake what he will do, because his valency is not yet satisfied, by mistake he will pick up one impurity with him. So भैया graphite or example diamond also, here the last bonds, last carbons in the diamond also, they are free to react with the impurities. So diamond and graphite, because of their dangling bonds, moving final ekdam corner bonds, last carbon bonds, because of those carbon which are in the corner, they can get some impurity. In fact, they will get some impurity. So what if they get carbon? If they get carbon, that means the next carbon is the last carbon. Someone will get the impurity at the last. On the other hand, in fluorine, we have a buckyball like structure, football like structure. So what happens there? If this is my last carbon, this is my last carbon, in fluorine, they are added to each other. As a result, there is no need to bond with anyone else. So I get no dangling bonds. There is no bond which are dangling for me. They are all associated with each other. As a result, only carbon network I will get. So the purest form of carbon is fluorine. There is no dangling bond. That's why it is the purest form of carbon. ठीक है भाई साहब? Now there is a small trick you can remember here. Special 26 2012. Very nice movie came in the Bollywood Special 26 many years back. Let's say the release date is 2012. So Special 26 2012, how to remember? So simple yaar, 26 membered rings. 26 membered ring. So if there are 26 membered ring, then how many are left here? 12 5 membered rings. 12 into 5, 60 vertex. 60 vertex. So 26 membered ring. So if there are 26 membered rings are there, what is this 12 representing? 2012. 12 are 5 membered rings. 12 into 5, 60 vertices are there. Apart from that, like in your home, if you can see here, there is a problem that we all face here. The elder one in the home, if there are two siblings, you can relate very easily here. If you are watching this video, I really feel bad for you, the elder one. The elder one always have to adjust. Always. The younger one, they get whatever they want. But the elder one always have to adjust. Why? You are the elder one. Adjust bhaiya. So what happens there? When, let's say, guests come to your house. ठीक है ना? So the elder one has to behave like the parents want them to behave. Bhaiya, maybe sit with the guest, entertain them for some time. But the younger one, they can do whatever they want to do. So understand this thing. Who are more relaxed, who can do what they like, who cannot do what they like to do, they are the elder ones. So here what happens there, that 5 membered ring, who is the younger one, the 5 membered ring is having full of attitude कि भैया नहीं, I will not do whatever you are willing me to do. 5 membered ring only binds to 6 membered ring. 5 membered ring only binds to 6 membered. That means he is very full of attitude कि नहीं, I will only sit with the elder. You might have seen also when the guests come na, the youngest people, they will sit in the middle of the elder one. Like uncles are talking, so younger boy will go and sit there. Or mother and auntie they are talking. What will happen? The younger sister will go and sit there. Sometimes younger brother also go and sit there. Why? To listen to the gossips. In the same way, the younger one want to remain with the elder one, but very specifically 5 membered bind to only 6 membered. Whereas 6 membered ring has to adjust both with 5 membered as well as 6 membered ring. So bhaiya 6 membered ring has to adjust with both of them. That's how the elder one have to behave in the houses. Yes, exceptions can be there. So please don't take me wrong. I am the eldest one, so I can feel your pain. Going ahead. Habitation is sp2. The fluorine is aromatic in nature because there is one odd electron which enters into molecular orbital. No need to go into the detail of MOT, but it becomes aromatic in nature. Direct question. Bond lengths are different. Why? Because even though conjugation is there everywhere, but there are some 5 membered rings and there are some 6 membered ring, and 5 is binded to only 6 and 6 is binded to both of them. Bonded to both of them, that means the even distribution of electron is not happening there. So two different bond lengths will come. So one bond length will be 138.3 picometer, other is 143.5 picometer. Stability, if we compare, graphite is the most stable thermodynamically, most stable allotrope of carbon thermodynamically. After that diamond, after that fluorine, and enthalpy of formation is assumed to be 0 for graphite. So diamond is plus 1.90 kilojoule per mole and fluorine is plus 38.1 kilojoule per mole. If enthalpy of formation is more positive, that means the stability is less. Going ahead, apart from that, this part many students miss in reading in the NCERT while reading. Carbon black, coal and charcoal, these are also some elemental form of carbon which are nothing but impure forms of graphite and fluorine. They are graphite, fluorine, some impure forms. What happens there? Like perfect fluorine, perfect graphite is not there. When you burn hydrocarbons like alkane, alkene, alkyne, in the less amount of air you get carbon black. Whereas if you burn wood, in the absence of air you get charcoal. And when you heat coal, in the absence of air you get coke. So coke, charcoal, carbon black, all are different. See one very small part here. People mix. If you don't read it, what you will do? Sir, coal will give charcoal. Nahi yaar. Wood gives charcoal, coal gives coke. So bhaiya, this was about the allotropes of carbon. All of them including the other elemental forms also. So that is it. Let's go to the next part. So carbon monoxide, how it is made? When carbon is burnt in the limited supply of air, we get carbon monoxide. If it burned in the excess of air, we get CO2. One more reaction is there, very common, that formic acid with concentrated H2SO4. So what we understand here, when concentrated H2SO4 is taken, it's a dehydrating agent. Simple trick, remove water. Always, whenever there is an organic acid with concentrated H2SO4, just remove water, so water will go out. And which gas is left over? CO gas will be released. Third method you might have read in the hydrogen chapter also. Make sure to revise there also, because their water gas shift reaction is also there. So coke heated with steam at a very high temperature produce CO plus H2 mixture, and that mixture is called water gas. Similarly, if you burn the heated coke in air, that is O2 and N2 is there in the air majorly, at a very high temperature, you get CO plus N2. N2 comes out as it is, no reaction there. It is called producer's gas. And both water gas and producer gas are in the industrial fuel. Why? If you burn them, then the CO here and CO here will be converted to carbon dioxide, which release a lot of energy. Next, CO is a reducing agent in metallurgy. Very well, you have read here, like Fe2O3, ZNO. In the smelting process, they are reduced using carbon monoxide. Byproduct is CO2. So simple thing is there. One more thing. CO has 300 times more affinity towards the hemoglobin as compared to CO2. The reason is very simple. You are in BPC, very well, easily you will understand. Your hemoglobin, the blood contains hemoglobin, and hemoglobin have Fe2 plus at the middle of it. You might have read A, B, B, 4 different structures of tertiary proteins are there. Together they make a quaternary structure. Fe2 plus is in the middle. So Fe2 plus is there. And CO is the best ligand ever. So bhaiya, iron Fe2 plus will have lesser affinity towards oxygen, who is a chadda ligand, as compared to CO, because CO can form a very stable complex with Fe. So what happens there? Carboxy hemoglobin is formed, and you might be knowing this, that when the oxygen supply is lesser, CO supply is more. So what will happen? The blood, even if you inhale some O2 also, the blood will only and only selectively absorb CO because of this affinity, and the affinity of CO towards the blood is 300 times more than the oxygen. So understand this class 9th also. I remember my teacher had told me that in the closed room, when the coal is burning or the carbon is burning, coke is burning, never close the doors. Why? Because carbon monoxide will be formed and people slowly become dizzy, and then the supply of oxygen to the brain is cut, which is extremely dangerous. So spread this knowledge. Education should be very useful to us. Going ahead, CO2. Bhaiya, photosynthesis you might be knowing very well. The whole reaction in biology, so you have read in PhD, you have done in the biology part here in photosynthesis. Greenhouse effect also here, carbon dioxide. There are some gases which let the heat to come in from the sun but does not let to go out. That's why the earth remain warm for the larger period of time in the night when there is no sunlight. All these things you already might be knowing. So let's focus upon the preparation method. When hydrocarbons are burnt, carbon becomes CO2, hydrogen becomes water, any hydrocarbon. CaCO3 with HCl, what happens? HCl will give the H plus to CO3 2 minus, so he will give 2H plus. So I can write 2HCl here. So what will happen? H2CO3 is formed, which is unstable and will form H2O plus CO2. And CaCl2 comes out as it is. One trick you can use, that stronger acid to weaker acid conversions are spontaneous for acid-base reaction. So whenever you have a strong acid here, weak acid here, spontaneous conversion. CaCO3 is limestone. That's the industrial method of preparation of CO2. You might have read in the limestone kiln also. CaCO3 on heating to around 1200 Kelvin release CaO and CO2, and this CO2 is this is the preparation method of CO2. Going ahead, H2CO3/SCO3 minus is the blood buffer, which maintains the pH of the blood from 7.26 to 7.42. Very important. It's there in the ionic equilibrium also. Solid CO2 is known as curd ice or dry ice. Curd rice, not curd rice. Dry ice or curd ice. So anyway, dry ice is the major name used. CO2 has a bond length of 115 picometer. These structures I have written here because many people who read the chemical bonding, they are not able to answer this question, because in chemical bonding, the first and the last structure we ignore in the resulting structures. Why? Because the second structure is highly stable. Because there is no charge here and charges are here, so they are least contributing towards the resonance hybrid. But if someone asks you from CO2 chapter like this carbon family, how many resulting structures CO2 has, then the answer is going to be 3. These are right in front of you, bond length 115 picometer. Next, SiO2 is silica, and silica is network like structure. Silica is the soil around you. It's majorly made up of silica. Now this is how the silica looks like. There is a lot of empty space in the middle here, and all the silicon have the sp3 hybridization, even though it does not look like this. So understand, CO2 carbon has sp2, but SiO2 silicon has sp3, network like structure. So what happens here? Silicon is sp3, cage like structure is there. So here next, in the crystalline form, there are quartz, cristobalite and trimidite. There are 3 forms of silica, also silicates. They are silicates as well, and they are in the crystalline form. Next, I'll talk about quartz here. The quartz is a piezoelectric substance. What is piezoelectric? Some substance where you put mechanical stress, like you press it and it conducts electricity. So quartz you might have seen in your watches also. Many a times quartz is written. Quartz is used, it's not made up of quartz usually, it's just branding they are doing of quartz. But quartz is used to make highly accurate clocks. Going ahead, silica is acidic oxide. As per the NCERT, SiO2 is acidic oxide. So he will react with bases to form silicate, sodium silicate, Na2SiO3. It can react with Na2CO3 also, because Na2CO3 also behaves like NaOH only, same to same. In aqueous medium, Na2CO3 will take OH minus from the aqueous medium, from the water, and become NaOH only. Calcium hydroxide is also a strong base. So with any strong base, silica can happily react to form silicate, Na2SiO3. But the only acid with whom silica react is HF to form SiF4. Further reaction is not there in your course, but if they ask you, H2SiF6 is formed, but that might be there in your notes. I'm not touching the part which is not important for NEET and which can give you negative marking. So silica with HF forms SiF4. That's the answer in the NCERT. We'll follow this only. So silica react with HF. F minus is substituting O. So O has 2 minus charge. So 2 oxygen have 4 minus charge. So 4F minus will be required and we get SiF4. So here who will react with SiO2? H2SO4 will not react, HCl will not react, HBr will not react, any acid will not react except HF, and all the strong bases will happily react. This was about this carbon monoxide, dioxide and silica. Let's go to the silicon and silicates there now. Last final part of this chapter. So when RCl react with silicon in the presence of copper powder 570 Kelvin, or a small task, search for copper powder 570 Kelvin in organic chemistry also, you will get another reaction. Very important, check that also. Anyway, so when RCl react with silicon like this, you get R2SiCl2, which on hydrolysis, Cl minus will go, OH minus will come. Byproduct is HCl, I have not written here, R2SiOH whole twice. So see, I am writing like this, R2SiOH whole twice, R2SiOH whole twice, R2SiOH whole twice. What happens here, this OH and OH come close and dehydration happens, and bhaiya water goes out and they associate. Similarly, here also bhaiya this dehydration will happen, water will go. So what is left? Only SiO-Si bond is left. So bhaiya this kind of a formation, if you get, this whole polymeric structure is called silicon. So you can understand here, because of these R groups, these alkyl groups, they are hydrophobic. So if the water want to approach him, then even though silicon will love the water to come, but this R group are hydrophobic in nature, so they will kick away water, they will be afraid of water, they will not let the water to enter inside this whole structure, making the silicon water repellent. So they are water repellent in nature. More things. So देखो यार, one thing I made R2SiCl2, what are the other possibilities? I can also get R3SiCl, I can also get RSiCl3. What will happen if I take R3SiCl? R3SiCl I will use for capping. Capping means if I want to restrict the chain length, if I want to reduce the chain length, I will use R3SiCl. Why? Think about it. RRR, imagine RRR, that means R3SiCl will become R3SiOH, and if this kind of a scenario comes, dehydration occurs, so bhaiya this became the cap, further extension not possible because there is no OH for extension. So R3SiCl will make the silicon of lower molecular mass if it is there in the mixture. It will stop the chain from going, so it's act like a capping agent. On the other hand, RSiCl3 will form networks. What kind of networks? Understand, if this middle one, for example, I take as, instead of taking like this, this was the initial scenario, instead of like this, I get RSiCl3, so RSiCl3 will have RSiOH whole thrice, so 3 OH will come. So what will happen? So bhaiya, here you will get O, here you will get O. In fact, this chain will be extended below also, so a big network like structure you are going to get. I hope this part is very clear. So if you want a large molar mass of the silicon, take RSiCl3 used to make the network. You want capping, take R3SiCl. You want linear chain, for linear you can get this one. This is going to give you the linear polymer of silicon. Regarding silicon, one very important statement type question came in the JEE Main as well in 2019. Prepare that part also. There is one whole paragraph I have copied here. You can check. So bhaiya, it has water repelling nature, high thermal stability, high dielectric strength, not low, high dielectric strength, resistance to oxidation and chemical. This is not much reactive in nature. Then they are used as sealant, greases, electrical insulators, waterproofing of fabrics because they are water repellent, and cosmic plants because they are biocompatible. They are biocompatible, so bhaiya, it can be used in the body also. So this was about the silicon part. So this thing is called silicons. Going ahead, silicates. What are silicates? So देखो यार, H4SiO4 is called silicic acid, and when this H plus are removed, you get SiO4 4 minus. This is called silicate, an ion of silicic acid. So the silicate I can represent like this, SiOOOO. Now imagine you are seeing it from the top here. From the top here, you are the observer, you are seeing it from the top. So what you will see one O minus. Below that, you can imagine, below that one silicon will not be visible because O is very close to your eyes. You will see 3 oxygen as well. So what it will look like? It will look like this triangle. You will be able to see this O minus, right? What else you will see? This O minus you will see. Below that silicon is there, I know, but I will not be able to see it. Just like lunar eclipse or solar eclipse. So what happens here? I will be able to see this O. Below that silicon I can't see, but I know it is there. And each silicon, that silicon is bonded to 3 more oxygens like this. And this is how the orthosilicate or the normal silicate looks like. That's the main building monomer we can say. Here each oxygen has a negative charge. What is pyrosilicate? Pyrosilicate is when 2 such silicates come together. So when 2 such orthosilicate will come, one oxygen is shared. The shared oxygen always have 0 charge. Whenever the oxygen is shared, there is no charge over the oxygen. Unshared oxygen will have minus, minus, minus. So 3 minus here, 3 minus here, total 6 minus. Oxygens are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 oxygens are here. And 2 silicon, which I am not able to see, but 2 triangle means 2 silicon. So Si2O7, 6 minus. Chain silicate not in the course, but you can remember the general formula because many years back one question came in the NEET examination. So very frequently the question comes in our tests also. So chain silicate has a formula of SiO3 2 minus whole N. Going ahead, zeolite. From the silica. Silica is also 3-dimensional silicate. 3-dimensional silicate is also called silica. What does it mean? When instead of one oxygen shared, in pyro only one oxygen is shared. In chain, there are two oxygen shared per triangle, we can say, per single triangle, we can say, two oxygen shared. In 3D silicate, all the oxygens are shared. So if all the oxygen get shared, whole O minus gone, everyone becomes neutral. So it simply becomes silica only, na yaar? So it becomes something like this, just like we have seen the structure of silica in the previous segment. ठीक है भाई साहब? So when you ever get silica like structure like this 3D silica, there some of the Si4 plus are replaced by Al3 plus. Some of the Si4 plus are replaced by Al3 plus. You can understand 1 plus is becoming less. That means some negative charge will come. So 4 plus replaced by 3 plus. So 1 plus is lesser. So negative charge will dominate. So overall structure becomes aluminosilicate, which has a negative charge. That is balanced by Na plus K plus Ca2 plus. So we get the complete structure like NaAlSiO4, something like that, like you have read in the permutate or zeolite method in the removal of the hardness of water. So example is feldspar and zeolite. Feldspar, zeolite, they are like zeolite is used for removing the hardness of water also. Cracking of some petrochemical reactions also it is used, cracking the hydrocarbons there. One very important example is ZSM5. It converts alcohol to gasoline directly. So this was about the zeolites. Apart from that, one commonly made silicate that we have is a glass. It's a synthetic silicate we have. Make sure read those things from the NCERT also well. One small last but very important thing is there, which I am telling you right here. One from boron family, that H3BO3 does not release H plus in the aqueous medium. Rather, in the aqueous medium, he accepts OH minus. This boron has incomplete octet, and to complete the octet, he accept OH minus. So rather than having a H plus donation or protic acid, what he is a Lewis acid. Lewis acid means he accepts the lone pair of electron. From where the lone pair of electron? From OH minus. One very important thing apart from that, in 14th group, you can never get plus 4 charge. Charge plus 4 not possible. It is there in class 10th carbon chapter. Plus 4 charge is not possible because it takes a lot of energy to make plus 4. But yes, plus 4 oxidation state is possible. So in the 14th group, there is a plus 4 oxidation state possible, charge not possible. Refer to the NCERT exercise, you will find this multiple choice question, brilliant option, very important for NEET examination. So all the very best. Let's go on to the next chapter in some other video. I hope all of you are doing very fine. All the very best for the preparation.